When you see Made in America, that's not just a jobs or a union issue, it's a national security issue. And when you see Made in China, put it down. What really kind of sparked me to get in was a statistic that still resonates with me, and the record low number of veterans in our politics. In the 70s, 75% of the House and the Senate, 3/4, had served. By 2015, 2016, it was down to 15%. Record low in our nation's history. I think that explains a record amount of dysfunction that we're seeing in Washington. And it's not that we agree or disagree on every single issue just because we're veterans, but it is about the ethos that we bring. You know, if just a few years ago we were all on a tank, a plane, a ship, and a foxhole together, and we were willing to die for our country and for the values that this country represents, then one would think that we could come together, take the tough votes, move the ball forward, have that objective. I tell some people that get really upset, some of my colleagues, look, no one's blowing you up. You have all your arms and your legs. You know, these are just words, not bullets, and kind of put it all into perspective. And you know, the other thing that serving abroad makes you appreciate is how exceptional this nation is. We have never faced a adversary like the Chinese Communist Party, whose economy is on par with ours, who is stealing our intellectual property left and right, stealing our innovation, and is openly talking about replacing us and building the military capability to do it. When you see Made in America, that's not just a jobs or a union issue, it's a national security issue. And when you see Made in China, put it down. That we have to get our supply chains back. We need to make pharmaceuticals again. We need to have manufacturing again. But this influence scheme and operation that they have going on, it's at the state level, the local level, the national level, and at every element of our society. When we talk about what does the future look like for future generations, that's pretty bleak. And the least I can do is leave it all on the table in terms of what I can get done to deter that and defeat it if necessary. We had a Green Beret that was literally misdiagnosed by a military doctor. Under regulations, you can't sue. He had no recourse for his family. Literally, he had terminal cancer and could have enjoyed his last days. Instead, he worked with me and other legislators to get that law changed. And now, if you go to a military hospital and they mess up, then you can get some kind of compensation for your family. So whether it's for Staff Sergeant Richard Stayskull or others, I mean, that's what keeps me going despite all of the craziness, or those tangible deliveries that we've had for people.
My cousin Thomas was a colonel in the Air Force in Iraq and Afghanistan. I have a cousin right now who's in San Diego, who's a member of the Navy. Do you have a message for young people who are currently serving either in active duty or they're in some branch of the military?
The best way to keep the peace, the best way to prevent war is to be prepared for it, number one. Number two, we have to get strength back into the White House. And you can have the best and most trained and well-equipped military in the world, but if our adversaries don't respect and fear the commander-in-chief and their ability to use it, then you're going to see deterrence erode, which is what we're seeing all over the world. But thirdly, you know, directly to your cousins and others, I have yet to come across a veteran, not one, at the VFW halls and the American Legion and even in my own family, that says, you know what, I regret serving. I wish I hadn't served. Gosh, that was terrible. No, they look back on it. I mean, these World War II veterans who have lived 70 years after their service, whole other lives, they look back on the couple of years that they were a part of literally saving the free world. You know, you can't ever do anything bigger than that.